Hey there everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video, I am going to be going over 5 tips and tricks or things you simply did not know about Grand Theft Auto Online. Now, some of these you might know, and if you do or don't know some of these tricks, let me know in the comments down below what you learned and thought about today's video. And if you'd like to see more content like this, guides on how to make the most money, and just have fun, make sure to click that subscribe button. But without further ado, let's get straight into the video. And starting off, in the number 5 slot, we have the Anti-Aircraft trailer. Because, believe it or not, it is the most dangerous weapon, apart from the orbital strike, in the game. See, a lot of people don't know this, but different weapons have different amount of damage. For example, the homing launcher does less damage than the RPG. It will take 26 homing rockets to blow up an Insurgent Pickup Custom, but it will only take around 10 sticky bombs or RPGs. And this is the same thing for Amani-Tech vehicles. An Amani-Tech vehicle can survive 10 homing rockets, but only 4 sticky bombs or RPGs, depending on which Amani-Tech vehicle you're driving. Which means that there are different explosion values in the game. Some other explosion values that are a lot more, for example, is the Rhino Tank and Kanjali. Both of these vehicles, and technically the APC stock gun, deal a lot more damage. And the most interesting thing is the Anti-Aircraft trailer, which does double the damage per shot than a tank. So in front of us, we have the Acid Lab. The Acid Lab can survive normally around 40 homing missiles. Let's see how many anti-tank rounds it can survive. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, it's already gone. I don't know how many it survived. I think it was 8. But I think you understand the point. Like, 8 shots from this, when it normally takes around 40 homing missiles and still around 20 RPGs. And judging that you can shoot it this fast, it's a pretty dangerous weapon. The Anti-Aircraft trailer is really not to be messed with. And the name stands true. It is absolutely diabolical against anything in the air. And the reason why is because Rockstar designed it to be able to instantly shoot down an aircraft as long as you hit 1 shot. So even if you take something like the B-11 Strike Force or the F-160 Raiju, 1 shot from an anti-aircraft trailer, and that plane is completely knocked out of the sky, making it the most dangerous weapon in the game, and a pretty fun one to mess around with. To call it in, you need to go into your Manage Vehicles tab and scroll until you see it in the tab. We can see it here, Request Anti-Aircraft Trailer. It's going to kick me out of my vehicle, and then it's going to spawn a new one right down the road here. And it's going to come attached to this kind of crappy pickup truck. If you do have a friend, and for example, they own an Insurgent Pickup Custom, you can have that person call in the Insurgent Pickup Custom and then tow you around with your anti-aircraft trailer, which is definitely the way to go. But overall, this is an insanely dangerous weapon that a lot of people don't know too much about, and I wouldn't ever recommend a purchase, but hey, if you do want to blow something up, this is the way to go. Here's something really interesting, and it brings us to the number 4 on today's video. You may notice that there are no cars spawning whatsoever on the highway, but as soon as I look in front of me, bunch of vehicles are starting to spawn. We've got a truck. Oh my god, look at all the cars that are spawning. If I turn my camera and we just keep driving down the road, look at that. No cars are spawning again. This is a trick that a lot of people actually don't know, but if you look behind you and drive on opposite lanes of traffic, the game will literally not spawn vehicles because of the way the sight detection works. If you're not looking in front of you, the game is not spawning cars in front of you. So because of that, if you ever want to drive on a super long stretch like a highway, and you never ever want to worry about having to drive around cars or anything like that, you can literally drive across the entire map with your camera reverse and never have to worry. It is kind of a crazy trick, and that brings us to another little trick that some people might not know, and that is spawning a personal car in. Vehicles spawn in depending on where you're looking. So for example, if I call my mechanic and I'm looking to this direction of the map, the mechanic is only going to spawn the vehicle somewhere behind me. So you may notice whenever I'm playing GTA and I call in a vehicle, I'm always looking down to the ground. And the reason why is actually very simple, because when I'm looking directly down, it gives me the most distance possible for the vehicle to spawn around me. So we can see if I just look up slightly, there you go. My Feltzer spawned right in front of me. If I was looking off in this direction, obviously the Feltzer wouldn't have spawned. So if you ever want to have your car spawn as close to you as possible, simply look down, and your vehicle's going to spawn pretty dang close, which is obviously really, really nice, and another little trick. So these are a 2-for-1 deal. Figured I'd put them together because both of them work with tricking the game into thinking that you're not looking or you're not doing something when in reality you are. This next trick involves us getting a wanted level, which you can see after, giving the public citizens of Los Santos a little bit of lead in their cars, we have at the top of my screen. Normally, when you have cops and you call Lester, it costs money. For 90%, maybe even more of the player base, if you call Lester, it's going to cost an amount of money to lose the cops. So we can see that I'm currently calling Lester. We got 2-star wanted level, and when we call Lester, you're going to notice that it says remove wanted level free. So this is actually something that has been in the game for probably 4 years now, and it's an award you get for completing the Doomsday Heist series. If you complete as a leader the Doomsday Heist from Act 1 to Act 3, you will have the ability to call Lester whenever you want and remove the cops for free. This is just a little trick that I don't really think many YouTubers have brought up since the Doomsday Heist itself has been released. And obviously, it's not something that is particularly special. It's only like $500 to remove cops if you call Lester and you don't have it for free. But it is still pretty cool that completing the Doomsday Heist, you have the ability to kind of brag and say, well, I can call Lester for free. And yeah, I mean, that's about as exciting as it gets, but it is still something that's pretty cool. And if you didn't know, well, now you do. Final 2 tricks bring us to the agency. And the agency has a whole bundle of secrets that a lot of people don't know about. The first one we're going to be talking about is the agency's SUV service. A lot of people don't know, but actually one of the best ways of fast traveling in the game is inside of your agency. If you ever want to make it from where you are to another portion of the map, whether you're doing a job or some sort of mission, well, simply all you need to do is go right to your agency. And you're going to see a couple options: exit via personal vehicle, exit through helicopter, and then SUV service. So what we're going to do is select somewhere very far away. Paleto Bay is basically the opposite side of the map. Normally, if I wanted to get to Paleto Bay, I could either go to my Kosatka and have it fast travel me, but obviously it's still a pain because then you have to fly your helicopter out over to the land you need to go to. The SUV service is a little different and, in my opinion, a bit faster. It's about 20 seconds, and just like that, we've made it across the map. And then what I really like to do is pull out my minigun really briefly and shoot the driver of the SUV. You see, this vehicle is an armored Jubilee. Now, it was a little more armored because obviously I just shot out the glass, but this is an armored Jubilee, and it has a Monitech armor on the sides of it, which means that you can instantly not only fast travel to wherever you need to go, but you can also get an armored SUV which can survive upwards of 10 homing missiles and has a missile lock-on jammer. So if you're in a public lobby, this is one of the easiest ways to fast travel in the game. It's honestly insanely efficient and just really useful. I don't think a lot of people know this, and it's something that I didn't know up until about a week ago when messing around with my agency. I mean, I've always known that the SUV service was there. I've just never really seen a reason to use it because it was kind of a waste. But yes, you can actually use this to fast travel and then use a personal SUV through your agency, which is just so incredibly useful. And that brings us to the final trick with the agency. So one cool thing about the agency, which a lot of people do know, is that you get a free agency Super Valido bundled in. And it's a pretty sweet helicopter. Normally, purchasing a Super Valido costs you quite a bit of money. In fact, when we load in here, we can take a look at our phone, we can go to Elitist Travel, and we can sort by price. And we will see that the Super Valido Carbon is 3.3 million, and the base one is around 2.1 million. So either way, it's a $2 million helicopter. Literally, the amount of money it costs to purchase an agency is the same amount of money it costs to buy a Super Valido. It's the same helicopter you get unironically, as part of your super yacht. And what's really cool about this is you can actually store it as a personal helicopter. You see, if I make my way to the front desk and I exit with the free helicopter, we are able to fly this helicopter over to our hangar. And we can store it inside of our hangar. So that's what we're going to do here. Let me go fly this over to my hangar quickly. Finally, we are entering the hangar. I actually thought I owned the hangar all the way in LSIA. Turns out I didn't. So instead, I had to turn around and go all the way to the other side of the map. So as we can see, I can store this helicopter inside of my hangar. Now, I do need to remove some sort of aircraft, so I'll figure out exactly what I want to do. But you can literally store an unlimited amount of agency helicopters inside of your hangar, which is incredibly cool. So I'll remove something that I don't really care about. Doesn't really matter. How about I do the Vestra? I think the Vestra is something. Yeah, we'll do the Vestra. Oh, wait, no, I got a Kanata. I don't care about the Kanata, bro. Where the heck's my Kanata? There it is. Boom, get rid of that. Okay. And now, inside of our agent, or not our agency, our hangar, there we go. We got a personal agency helicopter, which is kind of crazy. And then we can modify it. We can respray the color, so we can literally make the secondary color any color we want. So I could make it green. I don't know. We'll just make it a matte white for now. And then I can also change the main color. So you can literally just make it your own helicopter. So no longer do I have to do the agency colors. I can make it, I don't know, red and white. And there you go. Now I have my own fully customized helicopter. And now we can exit the hangar with it. And here's the interesting part. It's no longer classified as a Merryweather vehicle like your agency classifies it. It is now classified as a personal aircraft. So if we exit, as we can see, it's now a personal aircraft. And what that means is no longer do you have to go inside of your agency to claim this as a personal aircraft. So if you're a new player, when you purchase an agency, you can store this inside of a hangar, and then you can call it in whenever you want through the Manage Vehicles tab. We can see it somewhere in here. That's crazy, though. Just the fact that you can basically steal a Super Valido Carbon from your hangar whenever you want through your agency. I mean, this is a pretty cool trick. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. Did you know all these tips? Did you not know all of them? Obviously, if you learned something new, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. And if you'd like to see more content like this, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.